Hello, it's Pastor Penny, and it's Monday, July 6th, and I hope you all had a happy July 4th weekend and stayed safe and socially distanced and wore your masks. So today, and actually all week, Monday through Thursday, that is, I'd like to talk about social justice and different elements of that. And first, I want to make clear that social justice is not the same as politics. Social justice is a Christian tradition, and it's inspired by Jesus, not liberal causes, popular agendas, media platforms, lawmakers, mainstream fads. It's none of that. It's inspired in the Bible by Jesus, and it's a deeply spiritual practice. And we, in the Reformed tradition, and as Presbyterians, we are called to have social justice concerns as part of our Christian lives. So, I want to just give you an example, one of many, over 100 verses, more than that, of social justice in the Bible. And this is from Zechariah, chapter 7. Zechariah is a prophet, an Old Testament prophet, and he's talking. God has spoken to him, and so he's sending that on to the people in Jerusalem at the time. And they are not being very receptive to him in the verses just following this. But in chapter 7, verses 9 and 10, Zechariah says, "Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgments, show kindness and mercy to one another. Do not oppress the widow, the fatherless, the sojourner, or the poor, and let none of you devise evil against another in your heart." So Zechariah is starting with show kindness and mercy to one another, which I interpret as you and me before we go out into society to try to make a difference. Don't devise evil against another in your heart. I look at this as the old saying that if you're in a plane and it's going down, you put your own oxygen mask on first before you help others or the person next to you. In the same way, we as a Christian family need to love one another first and have our ducks in a row before we can be effective working toward social justice, mission, outreach. There are lots of names for it. Love your neighbor, help your neighbor. And so let's all remember that. Love one another first. Clean up your own house before you can go and help someone else. And don't oppress the widow, the fatherless, the sojourner, or the poor. So we have our own versions of those people, the marginalized, the ones who really need our help. And we do some of that already as a church, PWA especially. But just remember that there's so many who need our help. We are blessed. We are privileged in society, and we have way more than we need. And so we can share it. We can also love others in in supportive ways, not just with possessions, but with our hearts, with maybe socially gathering. And so let's start with our own oxygen masks. And just a reminder, our book study, the third of 4, is Wednesday at 7. We've had some very good talks. You can come even if you haven't read the book, Be the Bridge. So please join us. Blessings.